wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. Show don't get her pissed. It's Jason talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
What's going on? Welcome to the KVJ Show. It is a chilly Groundhog's Day here in South Florida. But, you know, even at 49 degrees, it's much better than what I've seen from videos up north.
Ooh, they are snowed in. I think they have to dig that little devil out of a hole covered in snow.
It's kind of crazy.
That sounds fun.
Well, I saw this video yesterday of Lake Michigan. It looked so creepy and eerie, and it was big chunks of ice floating on the water, and it looked absolutely miserable. I was just like, how does anybody live through this stuff?
It's so depressing looking. I mean, I could hang for a week. I'm like, oh, cool, frozen lake, never see that in Florida. After a week, man, I think I'd get that seasonal depression they talk about.
Amen.
Yeah, it does. It can be tough after a while. It will grind on you. So, you know, Groundhog Day for us isn't that big of a deal because, honestly, I don't want to see it end. Like, we've had amazing weather. I know it's a little chilly right now, but it's been great. But when you're dealing with what they're dealing with up north, you just, like, every day, you can't wait.
I don't remember it being this consistently cold for this long, and I noticed it because I've been wanting to go in my pool, and I'm too weak to do it. It's too cold for me. The sun really hasn't been hot.
I judge it by how much I get use of my jackets and my heavy, like, sweater coats. And there were several years, just 5 years ago, I never even pulled one of the sweater coats out once.
I remember we had some really hot Decembers and Januaries where you were sweating your butt off.
You didn't need a sweater or a jacket, but this year, last year, you have. It's been nice.
It has been really nice.
I like to have a little bit of a season change.
Mm-hmm. That's the video of Lake Michigan. If you're watching KVJ TV, you can see
that.
A little bit of what it looks like.
It is. It's eerie looking.
It's terrible.
Pretty eerie, so... If you want to dial us up, we are on the KVJ TV right now. Easy for you to do. Just go to your YouTube and look for the KVJ Show. You can check us all out, including Jaybird's heart-shaped glasses, hiding his Botox.
Oh, man. People think I'm getting plastic surgery. People think I got Botox.
If you want to go get Botox, I'm going on Friday.
Oh, people think I already did it. People think not only do I am doing Botox because I keep wearing these glasses, they think I'm going to Kevin's hair club and my hair's fake. So they think I'm getting Botox.
You know, all of a sudden you turn into the most high-maintenance person on the show.
And fake hair. And y'all, if I'm paying for this hair, I'm getting ripped off. This is my real hair, and I have not got Botox. I mean, I look old AF as normal.
Okay, there you go, the big reveal.
Someone sent me, I got a couple comments.
Did you really?
Yeah, I sent you.
Saying you had Botox?
I sent you the one email. This woman sends me. Yeah, she goes, Jason, did you get work done on your face? This is a message she sent to me on Facebook. Why won't you take off your glasses? You even wear them in your Facebook Live videos. You even look different.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
I never thought you to be the kind of person to cave into cosmetic surgery. So there's kind of like
pink lies.
Well, there's a twinge of kind of shaming there that I already did the cosmetic thing.
How dare you abandon your character? They don't want you to get plastic surgery, and you obviously did it.
Well, I honest to God did not. I mean, I did it. The reason why I look different is because you guys have seen me with short hair my entire radio career, and then I grew it out, and I shaved my beard off, and I gained a little weight. That's going to make you look a little different.
You've changed everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's why my face and everything looks different. But it's not because of Botox. It's like, step off, lady. Go get a hobby.
Everybody's got a comment.
Oh, they do.
They just sit in that chat room and judge. So there you go. Jump on in and enjoy the KVJ Show. We're here right now.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second, Looks like your boy Elon Musk is confirming that he's an alien. He is telling some wacky stories.
This clip right here is proof that Elon Musk, without a doubt, is an alien.
Yeah, you're not going to believe what he said, Kevin. I know you love him, but we think you might be an alien too.
Why can't I love aliens?
You can love it. We think he's also kind of maybe part robot too. Not you, but Musk.
Okay.
All right, we'll play that for you coming up in a second. Before that, Tony Bennett revealed yesterday that he is battling Alzheimer's. I guess he was diagnosed back in 2016, and he says, look, he's not always sure what's going on around him. He can still, at this point, recognize family members, but he wanted to raise awareness for all of this and say, look, this is something that I'm dealing with, and he's putting it out there. He's 94, by the way. Wow, good for him.
Does that disease mean you don't know where you're at? If you're in your living room, you get confused?
So you deteriorate. And at the early stages, you can't forget where you put your keys. But then towards like the later stages, you can't remember your family members. You don't know where you are. Sometimes you start regressing and you talk about things that happened 60, 70 years ago, like they were just yesterday. And you think you're in those moments.
I forget a lot of my stuff, and I constantly talk about the past.
Yep.
I just
Setting in.
How
think you're good.
How do you know when it's
I don't think you can get Alzheimer's in your 40s.
really?
I don't think so. I haven't heard of that very often.
Virginia medical facts.
I mean,
I'd like to look into that.
I'll go look.
That doesn't seem like that's right. I don't know.
It's typically a late onset.
Okay.
Oh, you believe it when Kevin says it?
Well, yeah, I do.
Get out of here,
Well,
your fake Botox plastic surgery.
Saying I got a better track record.
Well, Kevin never went on the air and said, "Oh, you can't. Well, the sneezing's not a sign of COVID." I remember that quote.
Jennifer Coolidge is my girl. I love her. She just told this story on the Kelly Clarkson show. I actually saw the clip of it, and it is so funny. She was on vacation, and she met these two guys that were best friends, and she wanted to date both of them while she was on vacation in Hawaii. So she told them that she had an identical twin, and then she dated both guys for 2 weeks, and they didn't know anything. They both thought they were dating the other twin. That is amazing. Jennifer Coolidge, you are awesome. And finally here, it looks like Elon Musk is indeed an alien robot. And here is Elon confirming that and talking about this monkey that he's got.
In simplistic terms, it's sort of like a Fitbit in your skull, because we already got a monkey with a wireless implant in their skull who can play video games using his mind. So it does not look like an unhappy monkey, and you can't even see where the neural implant was put in, except for that he's got like a slight dark mohawk.
Yeah, Musk is an alien.
So he's got a monkey with a mohawk that plays video games with its mind?
With
He
its mind.
transplanted something in the monkey's brain?
So you're going to be able to move and do things with your mind. That's some alien. That's alien stuff.
That's high
right there.
tech.
That's high tech.
That's advanced.
Well, he's doing the monkey now. I mean, I guess he's going to do a human next, right?
If he hasn't already done it.
If he hasn't already done it.
Yeah, he's doing some pretty revolutionary stuff. He really is. I guess you can see why he's now the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
Because the concepts he's coming up with are pretty incredible.
I just don't understand how it's only me and Virginia blowing this story open that Musk is an alien. No one else is talking about it.
Musk is an alien. Pass it on.
Might be.
Kevin.
Yeah, well, I mean, the concepts he's coming up with. And he is trying to build a pad on Mars, right?
Yes.
He's doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
He named his child after code. Computer code.
Yeah, symbols, basically. An unpronounceable. It's like he was the first person since Prince to do it.
And that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
I saw something else that his SpaceX thing is doing. I'm like, okay, is this a good idea? They're going to be sending their first all-civilian crew into space.
Alien. That's how they get us, dog. They're going to plant stuff.
All civilian. Don't you want 1 or 2 astronauts in the mix?
That's what I thought too. I'm
I
like,
don't know.
so what? Like maybe KVJ, we could just go up there and we'll play astronauts for a day?
I know I do this a lot, but this is the same episode of A Twilight Zone. I'm not even kidding you. They get people from Earth to go, and they're going up there to eat the humans. They're bringing them out of to outer space to cook them.
Oh, my.
What?
Yes, they're taking.
I didn't follow any of that.
They take humans.
Some Army Hammer stuff?
They take human. There's a Twilight Zone episode where they take humans from Earth and they promise them this great world.
Yeah.
And when they get to the other world, the aliens cook and eat them.
So it's just a human kitchen up there on another planet, and they roll in, and
it's called To Serve Man. It's an excellent episode, and it might be a cautionary tale.
Damn.
Well, so you think that maybe Elon Musk is going to fly this all-civilian crew into space and then eat them?
I'm just saying, it's the same storyline.
Wow. He and Army Hammer having a dinner party?
Army Hammer's too sloppy to be an alien.
Yeah, it's going to be taken off in October from Kennedy Space Center.
That's insane.
All civilian crew.
No.
I was like, okay, can I at least get one astronaut on this?
Thank you. Just somebody who's been in training.
Just one guy? Yeah. So that's Elon Musk for you. Crazy stuff.
Want to see what Virginia looks like on camera? And Kevin and Jason? YouTube.com/KVJ Show.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about, Jaybird?
So in my neighborhood, my trash is picked up late. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I took out my trash yesterday, and when I'm driving back home from work, my trash is still out there because they haven't picked it up yet. But what had happened was it got untied. The wind had knocked it loose.
Uh-oh.
And it blew. All this paper blew in my neighbor's yard across the street. And I noticed there's nobody there, but now I have to go in their yard, and I'm picking out all of this paper. Thank goodness it was only like paperwork stuff. It wasn't trash. So now I'm
Thank goodness it was only all of my financial statements.
Yeah, it's my tax forms. Thank goodness it was just that.
Bank statements, credit card statements.
So I'm looking around my neighborhood, and I'm trying to make sure I don't look suspicious. Me, not look suspicious. And I notice there's some almost kind of like in the back of their area. I'm like, oh man, I got to go in their back alley. So I run really quick and grab the paper. And as I'm running out, I look at their next door neighbor, and they're watching me do this whole thing. And they're just kind of looking and judging. And they're on the phone. And I swear that they were telling the person on the phone what they were, like almost commentating. Almost like, it's crazy.
You're not going to believe this crazy MFer who is running through the yard.
So I wanted to ask y'all this. If you had a neighbor that their trash accidentally flew open and it got on their lawn, you would want them to run on your lawn, pick it up, and then...
Oh, absolutely. This happened to me. Not my right next door neighbor, but the one down. Their trash blew over, and all of their recycling products were everywhere. And I saw it when I was getting the mail, and I just started picking it up for them. And then she saw me doing it, so she came out, and she was like, oh, thank you. Like, neighbors have to care about neighbors and pick up stuff like that.
110% agree, and I was almost
if it's yours, if it's theirs, if it's anybody's around you, if you see it, the right thing to do is pick it up.
I just know people get squirrely when it comes to people going in their lawns and stuff.
But if you have like a trash bag and you're clearly picking stuff up, they should be cool.
I'm with you. There's a story my dad told me that always sticks in my head. He was living in Pennsylvania, and you know sometimes when you drive and you have to make a U-turn because you pass something, you'll go in someone's driveway and then you'll back out. It's not, you don't know the person.
Okay.
Well, he did that in Pennsylvania, and I guess when he pulled in the driveway, he was either, looking down at directions or something, and this guy flies out with a gun and said, "Get off my property."
Whoa.
So people get weird about property. But keep in mind, that was probably the 60s in, deep woods, Pennsylvania. It's probably a little different.
Yeah, just don't mess with a mountain man's property. But maybe if you're, picking up trash from your neighbor's yard in a regular subdivision, you'll be okay.
I was trying to do it smoothly, like, a little trash, let me pick that up, but it did not look smooth.
I'm sure it was a disaster.
Your friend has a camera. They probably get the whole thing on camera.
That's right. Oh, they're on vacation, though.
Yeah, you should ask them for that video because it probably looks like a maniac.
A maniac running around. Now, were you going in that direction in front of their house?
It's right across the street from mine, so they would have caught that on camera.
Okay,
probably.
all right. Pull the footage.
I will.
What's on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, yesterday I ventured to go for the first time in many, many, many months into Walmart. I needed stuff that they had. Of course, I didn't want to go because it's always the Wild Wild West in there.
Yeah.
And I'm so surprised at the level of rudeness of the people to each other at self-checkout. I kind of couldn't believe it. People were like scolding other people. Like, just if you're at self-checkout and there's somebody next to you that doesn't know how to do it or they're fumbling with it, just mind your own business. You don't have to yell at people. Like, why make Walmart worse?
Especially, I'm a big believer. I feel Walmart puts super glues in between their plastic bags. It's so tough. A bear can't get through that thing. Hamburger Hand struggles hard.
Just any shopping experience, if you're doing the self-checkout and there's people around you that don't understand how to do it, and there always will be, especially older people, they don't understand it. They're like, what's going on? Don't yell at them. Just do your own and get out of there. You don't have to be the instructor.
I hate self-checkout so much. It's such an anxiety attack for me. I don't like anything where I feel like there's a clock and people are watching the time.
I don't like it either, but Rocco loves it. So he insists that we go through self-checkout every time. And every time there's drama.
I'm telling you.
Every time.
That's why I don't do it anymore. I'm old school. I go through the cashier.
I'm with you.
It's safe.
I know. I agree.
I pay by check.
Look, that cashier is there for a reason. She does a job and she does it well, and I need her help.
Kev, I've been yelled at too many times, and I've been yelled at when I'm trying my best. I don't want to go.
And that's messed up.
Yeah.
We should not be yelling at disadvantaged people that are just trying to self-checkout. That's not nice.
I told you I got the arthritis. I got the arthritis in my hands.
You do have the
You got the
bitch-ass
weak
grip.
grip.
I got that weak ass
Wag.
grip. I try to open things up. It is tough, y'all. I'm losing my hands.
What I got on my mind, I saw this today, 5 tips to manage your wardrobe, and I thought there's some good advice in there. I'm kind of switching out some stuff. Every now and then you got to go through and purge some stuff that you never wear and try to add a few new things.
That's true.
And there were 5 points that this guy suggested. He spent 3 years taking notes about his wardrobe, what he was doing, finding out what was working. Because if you ever purchase something and you realize that you never really wear it and maybe you spent too much money on it and you're like, that was a bad investment. And then there's something else that you might buy for $20 and you wear it for 5 years and you wear it 10,000 times. Like, oh, what a great deal that was. There's just things that you find in your wardrobe that you love and other things that you're not so keen on. And the 5 tips that he gave, and I thought they were all pretty good. Only buy what you need and love. The goal here is to have a closet filled with only your favorite stuff. And how often you'd be like, you just keep going over a shirt or an outfit that you just kind of lukewarm on, yet you still keep it and don't move it.
I lead the league in mediocre at best t-shirts. At best, these shirts are they're okay.
Yeah. So he says, unless you just kind of have a passion and you get stuck on something, just don't be buying the stuff you're just like, that's okay. Don't go for mediocre stuff. Find something you're really attached to and be like, I love this.
I do that at Walmart sometimes. I know I keep bringing up Walmart, but you're tired. It's the end of the day. Oh, cool, a Cookie Monster t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's going to, break the first time you wash it.
Yeah. He says also focus on use, not price. Too often you see something expensive, you're like, I'm not going to pay for that. But if you spend $400 on a jacket and you wear it for 5 years and you're wearing it 100 or 200 times a year, then it's actually a pretty good investment when you think about if you would break that down to how much you pay each time you wear it. It's not bad after a while.
I totally believe in buying a nicer piece that you can get more use out of, because nicer pieces, too, don't fall apart as easily.
Mm-hmm. I have a fashion question. Okay, let's say I buy a really nice jacket, one that you would wear a lot. When does it get to be played out? Like, you're wearing that jacket a lot. If you buy an expensive jacket like that.
I mean, I think you can wear it a couple times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
A jacket is...
If you're going out, wear it like once a weekend.
All right, but you can repeat that expensive jacket, and you're not
Yeah.
going to get called out. All right.
I think so.
I had a leather jacket. I wore the same jacket every day.
Oh, Fonzie. Very Fonzie of you.
Fonzie.
I love that.
Fonzie Ralston.
I love it.
Great 40-year-old reference.
Dude, people know Fonzie.
People,
that are
if they
50.
don't know Fonzie, they need to Google Fonzie.
Oh, Fonzie, he's one of those old, he's an icon. Everyone knows.
So you think an average 25-year-old knows Fonzie?
Can
Absolutely.
we call your daughter right now, wake her up and ask her if she knows Fonzie?
She wouldn't answer, first of all, unless she's still up.
I think
Hey,
might still be
Dad!
up,
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh. We're just doing body shots.
yeah, I think more people know older references than you give credit for sometimes, honestly. When you were younger, you knew about older references. You knew about Elvis, but you didn't grow up with Elvis.
I think if
You
you
can-
asked, because I've got a 23-year-old, I think if you asked 5 23-year-olds, not one would know Fonzie.
You could ask Mags. You could wake her up.
Max is kind of young, but
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I think it's 35 and under.
30,
At least
you think
35 and under might know Fonzie.
30
and it might be 40 and under.
and
Would not know Fonzie.
I mean, I can
would
do
be
an
my guess.
I can do an experiment if you want.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not the only one that makes old ass references on this show. Just let me throw that out there.
They say avoid clothes with limited options, like a bright purple shirt that you'd only wear with a specific pair of pants. They say stay away from that. Stuff like that doesn't get used nearly as much. Maximize compatibility. Look for versatile stuff that goes with anything in your wardrobe. The easiest way to do it is by limiting your color palette. I kind of know the colors that look good, and it's very rare I stagger outside of a black, gray, dark blue. Try to stay in the same zone. And know when to let stuff go is the 5 tips that he gives on how to manage your wardrobe.
I struggle with that. I'm holding on to stuff from like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
So I thought that was kind of interesting stuff. So 5 tips on things you can do with your wardrobe.
I've literally got a shirt that I wore in high school. That's sad.
I got a baseball uniform. I don't know if you guys have seen it lately.
Oh, we saw the photo shoot. Delicious.
It is nice. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, did you hear with Dustin Diamond? He'd had 2 dying wishes.
Really?
Yes, 2 dying wishes. What exactly did he want to do? And have you ever thought of that? Does everybody have a dying wish, or do you not really get a dying wish until you get a death sentence from a cancer diagnosis?
I mean, I have a letter that's all written and ready to go and to be opened upon my death.
Do you really?
Yep.
Wow.
I got a lot of death notes
It's
myself.
4 it's
Do you
4
really?
pages.
I have a lot of death stuff ready to go.
I'm kind of curious. How many people actually have one sitting on deck? If you had to say, bam, yeah, that's clearly my dying wish, what would it be? We'll discuss next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
We're sorry to hear the news about Dustin Diamond. Boy, he was just diagnosed with that cancer, and bam, just took him fast.
I think that, yeah, he didn't know he had it. Like, he just started feeling really yucky and his whole body was hurting him. And he went in there and they were like, dude, you got stage 4 lung cancer and it's not good.
I wonder how long it was before he had a physical.
Great question.
You know, sometimes people go 4, 5, 6 years without seeing a doctor.
And this has happened a lot in the pandemic. People have put off regular doctor's visits because they didn't want to go in and be around people and all that maintenance that you should have been doing, and the early detection that could have happened maybe didn't happen.
And I don't think he was involved in the Saved by the Bell reboot either.
He wasn't. Now Mario Lopez is saying, oh, we're going to put him in season 2. And we're so sorry he's gone.
Well,
Slater,
Mario Lopez is a known liar.
Yeah, sit down, Slater. We don't believe you.
Whatever.
We know you didn't like. We know you didn't like him.
They were all over online yesterday. His former Saved by the Bell co-stars paying tribute to him.
I know.
It's annoying.
I saw. But that's a weird spot to be in. Let's say you did not get along with him, but you're so attached to him in pop culture.
Right.
You pass away. People know you didn't really like him.
People are looking to you to leave some kind of comment, and they all did yesterday. Like, oh, we're going to have him on season 2. Well, why wasn't he on season 1?
Exactly.
It's
I
easy to
think-
say now.
But Dustin was very hard to work with.
He was.
When everybody on the cast doesn't want to work with you, that says something about you.
I think what annoys people is that if they're coming off like they were best friends in real life.
Right.
It's like we know the truth.
It puts you in a tough spot because people, it's so taboo to ever say anything ill of the dead.
Right.
If you said he was tough to work with and that's why he wasn't on it, and if you mention that, be how dare you, he's dead.
You're right. Twitter will get you.
And so you're in this weird position where what do I do? I gotta lie and
Maybe don't say anything. Just say, I'm sending prayers to the family.
Here's the thing: people get you like when you don't say anything. People have that's happened over the last couple of celebrity deaths. I've noticed that when someone they were connected to didn't leave this long gushing tribute on social media, it's like you're the worst person ever.
Your silence says it all, KVJ.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, they've done that before with other things.
So how do you navigate this when there was somebody that you were connected with that really was kind of a jerk and you didn't really like, and then they die?
Well, what if you just give a heartfelt, Dustin, rest in peace, brother. Thoughts and prayers to your family. Something.
And leave it at that.
Almost generic, but it's
You
still
don't have
peaceful.
to go on and say, we were going to put him in season 2. We're going to miss him so much. Oh, the love we have is deep. No, it's not, Mario. Shut the hell
Well,
up.
you know what that is? That's Twitter getting to Lopez. They got to him. They how dare you not have Screech on?
Lying.
Blah, blah, blah. And then he just caved to Twitter.
Well, two things can mutually be true. You're sorry that he died and passed, and he also was really tough to deal with in real life, and you didn't think it was the best thing to bring him back at all for the Saved by the Bell reunion. And both can be mutually true, and you should be able to state as such.
And
But
you
don't say anything about season 2. You don't have to plug season 2 when you're giving your RIPs for Dustin.
Yeah.
Just say rest in peace, prayers for your family, peace out.
He was going to be on season 2, now streaming on Peacock.
Yeah, right?
You don't
Plug.
You don't have to plug it.
Dimples. I'm not into it.
It was only 3 weeks from Dustin Diamond's cancer diagnosis before his death.
Damn.
Yeah, that's just how quickly it snagged up and took him. And apparently he had verbalized that he had a couple of dying wishes. And the article I read, it didn't talk about any fulfillment of the wishes. His 2 wishes, he wanted to talk music with the bass player from the band Tool, and he wanted to see the Star Wars exhibit at Disney World. Those are his 2 dying wishes.
I mean, both of them are easy to get, probably.
Possibly, yeah. In 3 weeks' time.
He wanted to go to Disney World. I mean, he was hospitalized in Florida. It's a quick trip from anywhere in Florida to Disney World, so hopefully that happened.
Hopefully. Yeah, one of those happened.
I mean, even if you are a douche in life, you definitely should be able to get your dying wish. I wish that for everybody.
But I'm wondering, 4 weeks ago, did he have a dying wish, or did he only have it when he found out that he had terminal cancer?
I mean, did they tell him he had 3 weeks to live?
I think they did say that it's pretty quick, and I think they typically do tell you about how long you have because they want you to be able to get your affairs in order and plan accordingly to what you need to do. So
It's heavy, man.
As heavy as it is and as brutal as it would be to hear that, that's why they do it, I believe.
Okay, Harvey Weinstein says he wants his last dying wish.
He don't get nothing.
You said everybody.
Not everybody. Never mind. I take that back.
Bill Cosby says.
No.
Yeah.
We're closed.
Well, that's the thing, too. In some of these situations, you may be like, how good was this person? Do they deserve a dying wish?
You can't be incarcerated and then get a dying wish. I think if you're incarcerated, no, we're going to skip you in dying wishes.
There's a lot of people that are falsely prisoned, Virginia.
I know. Your criteria is kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
Weinstein and Cosby ain't getting a dying wish.
And I hear you. I'm with you.
Okay, so what would your dying wish be? And did you ever know anybody who got theirs and how it went down? Do you have a dying wish, something that is standing out there that if you were to pass in the next year, what would you make your dying wish?
Mine's pretty easy.
Yeah?
I really want to eat Italian pizza from Italy. I want legit.
You want to be in Italy.
Yeah, I would like to go and have an Italian experience. I mean, heck, I haven't even gone to New York and try their pizza.
We can make that happen.
I
After COVID, that's one of my places where I'm going to go is Italy.
I love pizza so much. It's my favorite food. I've never even had real New York pizza right out of the oven. I can't die without that.
You need to go on a pizza tour.
I would want to go on a fun pizza tour with the people I love the most in the world, and that would be my dying wish.
It'd be pretty easy, I think, for you to fly to New York and then fly from there over to Rome.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think it's all doable, but to think about me dying and never have a legit New York style.
Smart for you, yeah.
Since I was a kid, I've heard about New York pizza.
That's a good play. That's a good play.
I don't think I have one. I got to think of one.
That's it. When I started thinking about it, I was just curious, like, okay, what would I have my dying wish be? What do I feel like I could do that is unfulfilled?
Think in your life, and what's the one thing that you just haven't had happen that you would be really bummed out if you passed and it didn't come true?
I haven't seen the Foo Fighters in concert.
There's a good one.
Yeah.
That's easy to do.
Absolutely easy.
They don't really come to South Florida, but
yeah,
you have to fly out. But that's all right.
It's all right. We could work that out. That's doable.
We could go see them in Italy.
Okay.
Together.
I'd love that. That'd be such a good time.
Maybe I would want to go to Japan and have sushi in Japan. You know, it's my favorite food.
Yeah.
I've never even come close to coming to Japan.
And I feel like it's a spiritual journey, so you need to be around people that bring out the best spirit in you. So whoever that is in your life, you bring a group of 5 who you just love, your ride or die, and you have the best time ever.
I'm bring a group of 2.
All right, 2, whatever your poison is.
What I think is healthy about the question of a dying wish is my thought is that in life, you should think about it, identify it, and then try to cross it off your list as soon as you possibly can, because we're not guaranteed time. And if you cross all these things off, just think about, whoa, I've had an amazing life when you look back at it, because you never know. You may be too sick to travel or things like that.
That's true.
You know, one of mine was getting to Jerusalem. I really want to be a guy. At some point in my life, I got to set foot in the Holy Land.
And he did the pilgrimage.
Did it. Yeah, boom. Cross that off the list. If not, that would be top thing on my list. So luckily I had that. And that's why I started thinking about this. I looked at it, I'm like, I need to really start thinking about this. What would your dying wishes be? I need to go see Foo Fighters got a new album coming out on a Friday. A tour's got to be happening. I got to stop saying, because I did this last time. I looked at the tickets. I think they were like $250 for a halfway decent ticket.
But you're buying memories. This is your dying wish, dude. There's no price for that.
I think too often we did that. And I did that to myself. I said, stop doing that, man. You got to start identifying what truly does mean something to you, and then saving up, setting forward the time to do it. Say, you got to start doing it.
You know, sometimes when you get in the mail a bill you don't expect, and it's like a $400 bill. That happens to everybody.
Yeah.
When that happens to me, I mentally, if I want to buy something like a Foo Fighters ticket, I go, just act like this is a bill that you got thrown on you. You got to pay it, and it's really not a bill. You're having fun. Trick the mind.
Yeah. I always find that I have been hit with a bill I didn't want or expect before there's something cool that I want to do. And I talk myself out of it saying, I need to pay that other bill off first.
And you guys got kids, so it's different. You know, I'm Johnny Bachelor over here.
But we don't do anything nice for them. We spend all the money on us.
I don't know. I've seen their Instagram.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah, they're driving way better car. What are you driving these days?
It's a joke.
What? What are you driving?
I got an air bike.
Both your kids have cars and you don't. I think your kids are doing great.
They're living their best life. You're living your worst.
Yeah, they really are. They've already fulfilled all their dying wishes.
You get dropped off by carpool.
Yeah, it's a tough world. That's why I'm not going to the Foo Fighters.
Go to the Foo Fighters, Kevin.
I'll go with you, and tickets on the bird. Don't even have to worry about the...
See, this is already a success.
Look, he feels bad for you.
do.
He's going to buy your ticket.
I'll take sympathy tickets any day of the week, Virginia. It's all good. Hey, Bird, Shakira's having a birthday today. Feliz cumpleaños. You might want to send her something.
Is she 46?
44.
44? Oh, we're the same age.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello.
Meant to be.
Hello.
Except she's got a man.
I know. Way better man.
Christy Brinkley. She's 67 today. Billy
She
Joel's
looks amazing.
She does.
Old Squeeze. And Dog the Bounty Hunter also looks amazing.
Aw, Dog. He's been through it, man.
He's
I love
68
Dog.
today. So happy birthday to those celebs. Also happy birthday to the best pawpaw ever from Joey, Haley, Bradley, Tucker, and Sophia. We love you. Bobby had sent that in. Also, a happy birthday to my amazing mom, Linda. Happy 25th birthday from Mickey Jr., Hayden, Ava, Maya, and Nick. There you go. Also, happy birthday to my son, turning 29. Want to congratulate he and his wife on the announcement of their very first child this August. Very cool stuff.
Yay.
And also, Motor City Mongo. He's going to be a grandpa for the first time.
Congratulations.
There you go. So happy birthday there. Got a birthday you want on the KVJ Show? Just let us know about it. Mail at kvjshow.com. MAIL at kvjshow.com. Saw a little blurb about Justin Timberlake is creating some new music. So maybe we'll get some new stuff from JT coming out here pretty soon. He could use a rebound. I don't think his last album did too well, did it? Was that Man of the Woods?
I don't think it did well on the
him
charts. Yeah, his fans seemed to like it.
Yeah.
Virginia hated it.
I thought it was way weak. When you compare it to things like Sexy Back and Can't Stop a Feeling, like, come on now.
Let me ask you this. Is every dirt your best?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh, everyone's a gold record is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I had a Marilyn Manson first-hand story.
That was a good.
Yeah,
that was a good.
that's good.
That was an A-list material.
I can start making up a story to go with every celebrity.
You start doing the Real Housewives, those stories. I'm like, oh, they're slow dirt day.
Well, it's not for you.
He's also got a new film that is out. I've seen. I've been tempted to watch it. I think it was on Apple TV.
Really?
He's a good actor.
Yeah, I fired up my Apple TV for something else and kept seeing, boy, it's got prime location there on Apple TV, a new Justin Timberlake thing. It's like he and some little kid doing something. So that looks like the premise. Haven't seen it yet. Fictional couples that wouldn't last. What famous fictional couple realistically wouldn't last a month?
I got mine right off the bat. We talked about it on the podcast yesterday. Jack and that damn Rose.
You hate the
Yeah.
Titanic.
I don't like Rose. I think she plays mind games. You heard me rant about it yesterday. I'll keep it short. They don't belong together. I always thought it was a little mismatched. No, Rose.
Do you think that if the Titanic hadn't sunk, let's say this is realistic, and this is a real life couple, which it's not, if they would have made it to New York, would they have made it as a couple?
Nope. She's too high maintenance. She likes the idea of slumming it for a couple nights with Jack because he gives her the attention she needs and desires. But as soon as she gets back into the real world, it's going to all be about material possessions and by Jack.
When he can't hang at a sophisticated debutante ball, she's like, okay, it's not as attractive here.
It's not, Jack may have a big heart, but he ain't got a big wallet, and that's going to affect Rose.
Okay, all right.
You're so invested in this narrative.
I really am.
Can't stand Rose.
Hates her.
Can't stand her. I'm sorry.
I was looking across different platforms at some of the fictional couples that get panned the most. People really hated Bella and Edward from Twilight.
I know they did.
Wow, they on almost every list of terrible fictional couples make right at the top of the list. Top 3 in every list I saw.
They both kind of have like a low-key energy. And you got two, he's got more energy than she does, but she's kind of understated sometimes. So when you have two people that are...
She's not even trying.
Yeah. She looks like
Come on, can we put some effort in?
Well, remember they dated for real after that.
And then she cheated on him.
Yeah.
She cheated on that
She
vampire.
did him dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't cheat on a vampire.
But wow, even if they made it in real life, it didn't cross over to the big screen.
No.
It didn't. I agree.
Ginny and Harry Potter in the Harry Potter series. I was really surprised. I thought that I didn't read the books going into it. I'm like, oh, clearly Harry Potter's going to wind up with Hermione. And it didn't work out that way. And he got with Ginny instead. It just didn't feel weird. And a lot of people don't like that relationship. They say that's one of the worst fictional couples. Anastasia and Christian in 50 Shades of Grey. I've heard a lot of panning on that as well.
I don't think it did very well either.
I think the first one did okay, and I know they came out with some other ones, and they didn't seem like they did well.
They kept making them, but if you
Yeah.
look at the score, I don't know if it's really, even with the Rotten Tomatoes for audience, I got to look in that. I thought it didn't do
Those
great.
are some of those sequels that you're asking, why are they doing a sequel? I didn't think it was that loved. I've seen that happen. It's very weird sometimes. You're like, oh, the movie's kind of terrible. And they're going, and now the sequel. And you're like, why?
Well, I think it made a lot of money.
Because the books were fantastic. And it was such a craze. They made the movie and they're thinking, okay, clearly it's a no-brainer. When you have a lot of times a really big popular book, the movie itself then does, look at Harry Potter.
Okay.
Big book and a big movie series.
So the critics gave it a 20-something, and then, 25 from the critics, and then 41 from the audience.
That's terrible.
That's the first.
Out of 100?
That's the first one.
That's terrible. Whoa. That's really bad.
That's part one, y'all.
Wow. The Star Wars relationships get panned in almost every single list.
The Anakin and
Padme and Anakin.
that is rough. That's a rough one, Virginia.
And Kylo Ren and Rey.
Even rougher.
Yeah, so you agree.
Do I agree?
They did a terrible
Hell
job.
Yeah. Terrible.
Well, it's not the Han Solo Princess Leia.
Beautifully done.
Beautifully done. The other one's terrible.
Even in Solo, they had a young Han Solo.
That one got panned as well.
Terrible.
Yeah.
They had zero chemistry. It looked like two actors just going through lines.
One of the big problems with the newer Star Wars movies is the character development, and you never invested or believed in the character dynamics that they're trying to sell you.
What did you think of the dynamic of the relationship in Solo, Virginia?
I mean, Han Solo, he's got Solo in his name. He's very lonely.
It's funny you say that because they talk about that.
Jon and Daenerys from Game of Thrones, one of the worst fictional couples.
Who is it? I get so confused with Thrones.
Okay, it was Jon Snow
Okay.
and the Queen of Dragons.
Yeah, it was a little off. It did feel off. Now, Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow, the redhead girl.
Yeah, and they are actually married in real life.
And you could see that chemistry in the cave scene, Virginia.
Yeah.
Chicka wow wow.
I think that's another reason why they didn't like him with the Queen of Dragons.
The Queen of Dragons, that storyline was weird.
It all didn't work. Serena and Dan from Gossip Girl. No, you big Gossip Girl heads agree with that one. Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl are knocked up. They said there's no way they would have ever been a realistic real couple.
Anybody in Katherine Heigl is not going to work out because she seems like a bitch.
Well, we're not even, on this one, we're not even talking about on-screen chemistry. That storyline
was awful.
They never would have ever been together. She never would have stayed with him.
Right.
She was on his ass like flies on a rib roast.
Yeah.
He had to change.
It would have been the most annoying marriage ever.
By year 2, he would have been mentally checked out. They would have hated
Right.
each other in real
no
life.
way they go the long haul.
Her sister would have hated him.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Not going to work. Ariel and the Prince Eric from Little Mermaid, they say, is one of the worst fictional couples.
Now, you don't know that.
They said he's a prince of a fishing community. They eat seafood a lot. She'd have to be cool banging a dude that perpetuates the genocide of her friends.
That's very true. You just ruined Little Mermaid for a lot of people.
Yeah, her friend is Flounder and Sebastian the Crab. Those
Yeah.
are delicious friends.
She would have to sign off on the genocide of her friends.
You don't think the prince would love to have a little flounder for lunch?
Oh, he'd love it. So delicious. He's eating her best friend in front of her.
Oh, man. But he's the man of her dreams.
That's why it's not going to work. Michael and Jan from The Office listed as one of the worst fictional couples.
So they were awesome on screen to watch because they were so awful for each other.
Okay.
And I actually know couples like that where they don't even like each other. They do nothing but fight, but they're together.
Bender and Claire from The Breakfast Club.
Never would have worked.
He was the bad boy. She was the pretty girl, the preppy girl.
As soon as Monday would have came around.
It's the same thing you say about Titanic.
Yeah. It would have been good in the moment because you're all caught up in the emotion. And as soon as you get back to regular life, she would have been back with the Richies. He would have been back with the bad boys. I don't know. I could be off. But I am right about Rose.
You're so angry at the Richies.
The Richies. I am. I don't like the Richies.
High society.
They're rich people. They're annoying.
And then Danny and Sandy from Grease.
Never would have worked. They fought the entire movie.
Somebody said that Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise, and Eyes Wide Shut, they were
Yes.
married and there was zero chemistry.
Zero.
They didn't have chemistry in their marriage.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes had chemistry either.
It's him. I don't think it's them because she looks happy as a pig in poo with Keith Urban.
Well, I was trying to think about movies that Tom Cruise has been in where he's had a love interest. How many of them worked? How many didn't? In Jerry Maguire, did that work?
I thought it did work. I
Okay.
thought that was a pretty good one, yes.
Risky Business.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. So he's had a few.
Maybe
that
he's
worked.
aged out of it, though.
I think it depends. I think when you're talking, there's two Tom Cruises. There's action star Tom Cruise, and there's your lovable, hey, I'm Tom
Rom-com.
Cruise.
Rom-com
Yes.
Tom Cruise.
Rom-com Tom Cruise can put it together.
Rom-com Tom.
Rom Tom.
That's tough, dog. Rom-com Tom. Yeah, you can't do it.
Somebody else said Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. They were in the breakup.
Yeah.
That breakup movie almost caused a breakup in my real relationship. We saw that together, and it was awful. That movie was awful. It
Yeah.
caused a lot of drama.
I get it. Hey, we're going to play a round of Denny's or Animal. Are you an animal enthusiast who would like to just show off with how well you know your animal sounds? Then call us up right now, 877-979-WRMF. We're playing next on the KVJ Show. How well do you know your animals? We're going to put Kim from Royal Palm to the test here in a round of Denny's or Animal. Hello, Kim.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Are you ready for the challenge of your life?
Oh, I'm ready.
That's a good way of putting it.
It is, yeah.
I mean, you really aren't expecting her to be challenged much in life.
well,
If this is the challenge of her life.
I'm just
I
gonna let.
only wish that for her.
I heard Denny's in the lab working on some of the animals, and I don't know if she's gonna go perfect on this round.
Dang.
That's a challenge.
It's very tricky.
That is the challenge. Can you go perfect or not? Denny's or Animal? Now, we've got some animalistic scenarios for you. You have to guess whether or not these are real animals in this scenario or if this is actually our producer, Denny's, making these noise with his mouth. The first sounds we have for you are frogs in a swamp.
Ooh.
Okay. Is this Denny's or Animal here, Kim? Bud light. Okay. What do you think, Kim? Denny's or Animal?
I'm going to go with the animal on that one.
You're going to say those are real frogs in a swamp. You would be correct.
Yay.
How impressed would you be if that really was Denny's? Would you be like, wow, he's really
He's
getting
getting better. He is getting better.
He is.
I will give him that. I don't know
But
if
he's not
good.
that good.
He's not that good.
I mean, that's real good.
Yeah. How about this? These are rats in the walls.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting flashbacks.
Was this at Jaybird's old house?
Oh my gosh.
Might be his new house.
It's kind of triggering me, dog.
I
Thanks for the
know.
warning.
I got him. Hey, I got the rats too.
It's but do you
Had
have
to get old Hewlett out there.
Are they in the walls?
They're everywhere.
Inside your walls?
They were upstairs. I remember I had
Oh.
that one. I was showing the cable guy around, and I had that rat, and I'm like, "Oh, there's something stuck on this box," and I was moving it around. He's like, "That's a tail, dog."
That's a fried rat.
I didn't know that they were in your walls is a different level. It's haunting.
Yeah, they get everywhere.
Oh, Kevin.
They were
Yeah.
in his walls, in his attic.
Yeah.
That's rough,
They were
man.
tucking me in at night.
They make a sandwich and look you and puff out their chest.
Oh, a rat loves the kitchen. Trust me.
Oh yeah. So what do you think here? Are these real rats in the walls here, Kim? You can hear them in there. You can hear they're in there doing some kind of work. I think they're raking.
Those are raking rats.
Yes.
Damn, I need them.
Yeah. Kim, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal?
It was a little hard to hear, but I'm going to say Denny's.
Gonna say Denny's. You are correct on that.
That is not what rats in the wall sound like.
No.
It's way more alarming. It sounds like they're banging on your wall trying to get in, and then
Yeah.
they'll do that.
Oh wow.
When there's multiples of them, it sounds like they are fighting. And,
Well, there's multiples because they're in there getting bow chicka bow wow.
Yeah.
and I
they
realized
do.
and I realized they weren't fighting. I realized they were
Banging.
humping.
They reproduce at an alarming rate.
Alarming rate. Alarming.
And then you're just sad because they're getting more action than you. And
It's
you're
just
like,
like,
damn.
the whole thing is depressing.
It is. Okay, we got one more for a perfect score here, Kim. Today is Groundhog Day, so we have some audio here of a groundhog seeing his shadow.
Oh.
This is very topical. Groundhog seeing his shadow. Is this Denny's or Animal? Okay, if you were wondering the suspense there, I believe the groundhog has seen his shadow.
He said shadow.
Now,
Well, they do that, right?
was that a haunted groundhog? Because it sounded woo.
It was very spooky, yes. Okay.
Oh, so it's a ghost.
That's kind of actually, I hate to, hopefully if anybody's waiting around for the suspense of does he see a shadow or not, we kind of gave it away.
Well, that's the
I
ghost
should've-
version.
Yeah.
I mean, they name them all Puxatawny Phil, but you know they die every few years. They got to put a new one in
Yeah.
there.
Virginia.
There's probably several ghosts of Puxatawny Phil.
A lot of people don't know that. Don't ruin it.
I know, ruined a lot
You
of
just
things.
ruined Groundhog's Day. You killed sudden death and ruined Groundhog's Day.
Kim, Denny's or Animal on that?
And it's a tough one I'm gonna go with Denny's.
Gonna go with Denny's. That is correct. There you go. Well, Kim,
Yay.
the challenge is successful. You went 3 for 3. Perfect score. Nice job today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for playing along there. Fun little game.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice work on that, Denny's. Coming up here in just a second, I was asking the question on the KVJ Show Facebook page. Kids will be blatantly honest with you. And sometimes they just seem like they're dastardly mean. It's just like, whoa, did you need to say that? Have you ever been insulted by your kid? Your kid ever said something that just, okay, I don't need that kind of honesty?
Yesterday, Rocco told me I couldn't fit in his tent that he made because my butt was too big.
He said that as a direct quote?
Yes. I was trying to get in, but it wasn't working.
If I would have ever told my mom her butt was too big, she would have eaten me. I never would have. I never would have.
How do you get a smaller
I
butt?
never would have survived.
Those children have a lot of calories in them. Okay, somebody having a question here about Groundhog's Day, and it's not that big of a thing for us in South Florida because, you know, we actually like winter, and so we're like, please give us more. But, you know, if you're living with what they're living with right now up north, terrible winter weather that they're getting. They are dying to get to spring-like weather. So they've got this Punxsutawney Phil from the movie Groundhog Day. You can see it, get some information there. And somebody had texted in and said, can you guys explain Groundhog Day to me like I'm 5? I'm 20 and I still have no clue what's going on. I get it.
I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I get it either, so please explain it to this 5-year-old as well.
Me too.
Well, according to the tradition, if Punxsutawney Phil sees his shadow and returns to his hole, he has predicted 6 more weeks of winter-like weather. And spoiler alert, as we heard here with the actual audio, I believe Punxsutawney Phil has seen his shadow.
Shadow, woo!
Yep, so there you go. So he's celebrating. He has seen his shadow.
Is it me? But doesn't the groundhog see its shadow every single year? I feel like there's 6 more weeks of winter every year.
More likely than not. In the last 20 years, only 5 times has Punxsutawney Phil predicted that they were going to get an early spring.
And is that even an accurate thing?
No.
So even if he does see his shadow or he doesn't see, we still don't even know the answer.
When you live in small town Pennsylvania, you don't have a lot of things to live for, so you have to make up days.
I don't hate
like
it.
a Groundhog Day. Like, we need a reason to celebrate something.
I kind of like it.
So they, grab a rodent out of its hole and shove it back in, and they have a party around it.
Probably not real cool for the groundhog. He probably hates
I'm
groundhog.
sure he hates it.
Day.
Every year he's like, gosh, this again? This is so dumb. Well, we were asking the question on the KVJ Show Facebook page, have you ever had your kid insult you like Virginia had her 5-year-old insult her yesterday by talking about how her butt is too big to fit in his tent?
He was making one of those tents where you put blankets over the furniture, and then he set up his little pop tent next to it, so he had multiple rooms. And I was trying to get in with him for fun.
And what exactly did he say?
My butt was too big to fit, and he was right.
Oh, man.
Well, she had made the door very small.
Yeah.
Of course, he fit right
Because he's
in.
got a tiny little behind.
Right.
Did it really hurt your feelings?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I don't care.
But it is a reality of it, and kids will say those kind of things to you, and you just got to, I guess, laugh it off.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the comments, Kelly had said, yeah, my kid told me that I was heavier than usual when pushing me on a swing.
Oh, boy.
Don't let your kid push you on a swing. April said, my kid came up, squished my belly, and said, why don't you do something about that?
Oh,
Damn.
That comes from pure honesty, that kid.
Why don't you do something about that?
Kids are evil.
Abby said, when I got married, my son told me I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in my wedding dress.
Damn, that's really harsh.
Okay, if you're the parent and you hear your kid say that to a bride before her wedding, you have to make a scene with the kid. Like, you do not talk to the bride like that, right?
I mean, you try to usher him out of there quickly and hope nobody heard it.
But if
I
she,
think if you make a big deal of it, you make it worse. Is the bride big?
if she hears it and she looks kind of mortified, I think you gotta look like you're disciplining your
You're like,
kid.
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
I've learned that. I've had that. Kids have that look where they're looking you up and down, and I dread it because you know there's an awful comment about to come. You're just like, oh, gee.
You're right. There's a feeling that comes with that look.
They're looking you up and down, and here comes something awful. Angela said, my toddler asked me why no other mommies had a mustache like mine.
I would ask that to my mom and Ann when I was younger too. Why do you have a mustache like Dad? And they'd always go, because we're Italian. That's what they'd say that every time.
You're Italian. Matt said, my 5-year-old said, Dad, I like your new shirt, but your face just doesn't look good in it.
Aww.
Okay. Maria said that my kid told me that I look like I had tinsel in my hair. I guess my grays are popping. Sandy said, Mom, you should watch a tutorial on how to do your eyebrows.
That kid might be right, though. Some of the ladies out there, Virginia, they're using butter knives to put on eyebrows, and I don't get it.
I know.
It's the tough thing because you do a lot of times have to ask yourself, is the kid just being honest?
Sometimes, look, I worked at a baseball camp with ages 4 through 16. They are honest. What they see, they're telling the truth in their heart.
Lonnie said, my son asked how old I was. He thought I was 50. I'm 39.
Oh.
Every year counts.
Kids don't know. They don't understand years and grown up and all that.
Yeah, my one buddy's kid thinks I'm in my 60s. It hurts, but he's a kid. So.
Jill said, my kid told me I'm 2 minutes away from being a Karen. Okay, thanks. And Sonia said, my 4-year-old called me an a-hole. It's not funny, but it is.
I love it.
Had a couple of bonus texts that came in. How has your kid insulted you lately? Somebody texted in and said, when making our Christmas list, my husband said that he wanted a new surfboard. And I said, oh, I'll get one too. My daughter, she said, no, fat people can't surf.
Damn.
Kid, don't do that around Christmas.
It is hard to surf the fatter you are. I'm just saying.
That's why when I had some weight on me, I was a body surfer. But when that wave gets a hold of you, there's more to fall, so the damage is greater.
It's hard to get your butt up, too.
Yeah.
I was a big body surfer for about a month.
Someone texted and said, my 3-year-old said, Mommy, you smell like fish. Did you eat lobsters for breakfast?
Oh, well, there might be some other things going on.
Oh, boy.
I said, I hate seafood and definitely did not eat lobster. Uh-oh.
Time to go to the gyno.
You might need to see the Gynosaurus for that one.
Yeah. Al Green, the Pizzle, said at the pool one day, my son yells to me, Daddy, you got boobies just like Mommy.
Oh, damn, Daddy.
I know that pain, Al Green.
And he yelled it at the pool. Damn, in front of the bikini girls.
Everybody looks over at the same time. Dang.
Somebody said, my son told me to go to bed, Dad, you're drunk.
It's amazing.
And somebody else texted and said, I got a haircut that fit around my face and I got a space between my teeth. My daughter said, you look like a jack-o'-lantern. Oh, that's terrible.
The younger they are, the more
Yes.
forgiving. Now, if that daughter was 17.
Like I said, when they come up and they got those piercing eyes that are looking at you, get away quickly because you know an insult is coming. Stay away, kid. All right, coming up here in a second, we were talking a little bit about the different generations yesterday. Virginia's got a daughter that is a Gen Z. She is in that age range up to the age of 25. I think
Okay.
like 7 to 25.
She thinks she's 25, but she's only 15.
Yes. Well, they all like to kind of do that.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do a little battle of the generations here with Gen Z. Suits is our representative. He's just making the cut there. And I think we'll throw him up against, let's go Gen X, because that was a comparison yesterday, was that Gen Z is a lot like Gen X. And it makes sense because the Gen X is the parents of the Gen Z.
Oh.
Millennials follow the boomers a little bit more in a lot of the things that they do.
It's all getting kind of confusing.
Yeah, it is. There's 4 big generations, and then you have the greatest generation that is the oldest of us all. But today we're going to do a battle of the generations, X versus Z. So what we need is somebody between the ages of 18 and 25 to rep out your generation, Gen Z. And we need somebody between the ages of 40 and 57 to rep Gen X. Now, you're going to be playing along with Suits and Bird. You go to them if you think you need help and you don't know the answer to the question yourself.
Oh, we are so knowledgeable.
Okay, and we'll see who can bring the W today. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. We got a battle of the generations coming up next here on the KVJ Show. Time for a battle of the generations, X versus Z today. We've got Suits repping the Gen Z generation, ages 18 to 25, and Bird is repping the Gen Xers, 40 to 57.
Going down, Gen Z.
Oh, I'm not even worried. I haven't lost this game yet.
You were
Just
pretty good at this.
Oh, that's right. He is unstoppable.
He's doing pretty well.
Better step it up, cat hair.
Cat hair. No one heard that joke. That was during. Like, no one understands what the hell you're talking about.
Well, you had a random cat hair on you.
But no one. You never talked about that on the air. So now Kevin's in this awkward position of trying to start the bit and then explaining what are they talking about, cat hair? Kevin, I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize. Okay, we got Justin on here from Green Acres. Hello, Justin.
Good morning, KVJ.
Good morning. All right, Justin is 24 years old. He's going to be repping our Gen Z today, so you're going to be partnering up with Suits. Okay, Justin?
You got it. Let's do it, Suits.
Let's do it, man.
And from our Gen X, we've got Ari from Boca Raton, who is 40 years old and is going to be pairing up with the Bird. What's up, Ari?
What's going on?
Ari, are you ready to take this from Soups?
Oh, I thought I was in there.
Hello?
This is not going.
It's not going well.
I feel a little more confident.
From Virginia's
you hear me?
comment,
Yeah.
the him not. I mean,
Gen X, our phones are older. They're flip phones. They don't work as well.
Kev, your show's falling apart.
Yeah. What's that, cat hair?
Yeah. Do you have cat hair in the receiver of your phone? Do you match your partner?
Okay, so what you do here is you can get 2 points if you can answer the question by yourself, Justin and Ari. But if you need some help, might as well try to pick up one. If Bird and Suits comes in and they answer, you'll get 1 point. So the best score you can get here is a 2 on each one, or 1 with help, or you can get nothing at all. All right, question number 1 is going to be for Gen Z and Justin. Your question: what was the first name of the Snapple lady? What do you think, Justin? Ooh. What was the first name of the Snapple lady?
Suits, I need your help.
Okay.
There was a Snapple lady?
Uh-oh.
I didn't know there was a lady either.
I never heard of the Snapple lady in my life. Barbara Snapple.
Barbara, okay.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
That's not correct. Does anybody in here remember who the Snapple lady was?
No.
Maybe it's too tough for everybody.
Flo?
That's the progressive.
progressive.
Right, you have to,
Yeah, it was Wendy.
It's confusing.
That seems confusing.
There's always-
Wendy's.
There's always a Wendy. Yeah, bad job, Snapple.
Okay.
The other thing about Snapple, sometimes they got some weird like leftover junk in the actual liquid when you're drinking like a sludge.
Like it's debris.
Snapple had a good run in the time of Wendy. This was back in the 90s. And maybe it was because I was in New York. Maybe it was bigger in New York. I don't know.
It was big down here, but
Okay.
it would have that gross sludge at the. You'd be drinking
Yeah.
it, something would hit your lip. You're
Doesn't
like,
seem to be as big as it used to be.
ugh.
Okay. All right, let's go on to a Gen X here. And your first question. This is for you, Ari. Which Disney show did Selena Gomez get her start on?
Oh, wow. Jaybird?
I got you, dog. I got you all day long. Only talking about Wizards of Waverly Place.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Boom,
Let's go
Suits.
for it. That sounds good.
All right,
Very
brother.
nice.
I'm here for you.
Okay. Gen X has got 1 point, 0 for Gen Z. Back to you, Z, in the battle of the generations here.
Damn, Suits, you better step it up.
It's still early.
Cat hair's gonna kick your ass.
Meow, meow, meow.
Okay, your question. What was the original name of the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment? Used to have a different abbreviation. Justin, what was that abbreviation before it was WWE? It was what?
Oh, I have it on the tip of my tongue, and I don't want to say it. I don't know, Suits. What is it?
It's going to kill me if I get this wrong because Jason literally told me this last week.
I'm going to body slam you through a table, hard match style. I get it wrong.
Was it the WWF?
It was.
Thanks for telling me that last week. I really appreciate the help.
I'm glad you learned.
Yeah. World Wrestling Federation is what it was, and it's because of the Wildlife Fund. WWF.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they had to get rid of it. So there you go. All right, so on the board is our Gen Z. Back to Gen X in the Battle of the Generations. Okay. Next question here. Ari, which Kardashian Jenner sister is the only one without a child?
Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh.
What do you think, Ari?
I want to say Kendall, but I want to give it to Jaybird because I know he loves the Kardashians so much.
I don't know if you should give it to me, brother, because I wanted to say Kylie, but Kendall.
Okay, I'm going
to... Kendall. Is that what you said?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's lock her
I'm
in.
probably wrong, but let's give it a shot.
We'll be wrong together.
how do we score this? Does this go for Ari, or did he give it to Bird?
I think you should give it to Ari.
Okay.
Give it to Ari.
Virginia, does Kendall sound good to you?
It does.
It is correct, yes.
Yes, she's the one.
That's big because that's a 2-pointer. Okay. You go up 3-1, X over Z. And if Z does not get this, the Battle of the Generations is over.
In your face, Suits.
Come on, Justin. We got this.
Suits might lose.
In your faith. In your face. In your face, youth, is what I meant to say.
You tripped on your tongue.
Okay, the question for Justin and Gen Z. The red heart tag with a star and tie, T-Y, was found on what popular toy, Justin? It was a red heart.
That's a teddy bear toy.
Yeah. What did they call those things?
You
You need a 2-pointer to stay in.
Polar.
Suits, you want to help them for a point?
Are they Beanie Babies?
They're Beanie Babies, yes.
It's only one, though.
Yeah, that is. Okay.
Oh, no.
All right, we'll let Ari and Gen X see if they can't slam the door shut here. All right, could be the final question. Battle of the Generations. Ari, this artist shot the video for his hit song God's Plan at a high school in Miami.
Oh no. Shoot. Drake.
Drake is correct.
Wow.
Gen X has got the win today, 5-2 over the Gen Zers in Battle of the Generations.
What happened?
Hey,
Yeah.
you win some, you lose some. Still 2 out of 3, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're not beating yourself up enough, Suits.
That's it. All right, very nice. Well, thanks, Justin and Ari, for playing along today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. Boy, Suits took a rare loss here.
Rare.
You can't win them all, Kev.
Yep. Bird beat him in that. Gonna beat him in that weight challenge. I'm coming for you, Suits.
We'll see if he can actually lose more than 2 pounds.
I like it. Fire up the bird.
All right, coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we've got your confessions here today. Have you done something a little mischievous that you need to get off your chest? You can text that in to us, 877-979-WRMF.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
We all have tendencies as humans to do some devious things. If you need to relinquish the guilt that you're carrying around with you, this is the place to do it. The KVJ Confessional. You can text into us anonymously. Let us know what you did. Some of these confessions, though, I gotta tell you, they almost sound like humble brags.
So they really should be confessing that they're a humble douche.
You're confessing, but you're kind of proud.
Kind of proud. This one text confession said, I had an acquaintance I knew who was getting married, and she put her wedding registry on Amazon and had a plethora of themed decor items. Those items were a favorite of a great friend of mine who wanted them as well, and initially where my acquaintance got the idea from. Well, when my friend told the bride-to-be that they would have the same pillow cushions, the bride-to-be told her, no, those are mine, and you cannot get them. That is now my theme. So I went ahead, under an anonymous name, I bought all the themed decor items, and I sent them to my house to take them off the registry. I went to return them and also gave the couch cushions to my friend.
Dang.
People really get that mad about someone jacking a theme? You really care?
I would not care a bit if one of my girlfriends wanted to have the same theme as me in her house. I'd be like, that's so cool. We have twinsies houses.
That's so high maintenance. You're that mad that well, you got my theme.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and both of you should be happy.
Maybe I just don't get weddings. Maybe that's what it is.
Bitches
but
be crazy.
That sounds crazy.
That's
to
crazy.
Me.
That's insane.
This text says, I typically tell my husband everything, but I didn't mention the large chunk I accidentally took out of the back of his hair during a trim before sending him off to work.
Oh, no.
I did that to I used to cut the guys on my team, their hair, and I would say, every fifth guy, I would just lose it. I'd get into a hair slump, and I screwed this guy. He had to go to a wedding, and the back of his head looked like who did it and ran. I never said a word.
Oh.
You just sent him on his way?
Sent him on his way.
You're fine.
Hey, the next day, he's like, dude, what are you doing to my hair?
What's the problem? You can't see the back of your head. So if somebody screws up the back of your head, you have no idea.
It looked terrible.
Who told him? Who told him?
I think everyone told. Everybody did. It was so obvious. I was so afraid he was going to look at the back of his head. He got out of my apartment and went, oh, thank God.
This text says, I regularly order takeaways through Uber Eats, and if the driver's car is newer than mine, they don't get a tip.
Oh, that's
geez.
terrible.
That's wrong. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it so wrong.
That's bad food karma.
Yeah, you nasty.
Somebody said, when I talk to the cat, I give him the voice of a sulky teenager for when he replies.
I totally get it.
Cats are kind of like sulky teenagers.
This says, I broke the shower head at my parents' house pleasuring myself and blamed it on my sister.
I could see how that could happen. But what are you doing with that thing?
I mean, you really hit a spot.
In your mom's shower?
Ooh, wow.
How old are you?
Didn't say.
It makes a difference.
Okay.
So if they're a teenager, you're cool because they live there. But if you're visiting mom and you're 30?
Yes, exactly.
This confession, somebody texted us, says, I have this persona of being a craft beer hipster. I hang out at all the local breweries, and I wow my friends with my knowledge of beer. I even have the craft beard. So he's got the look. He's got everything. His whole persona is about craft beer. He says, however, when I'm home alone, I drink Budweiser. It's just the easiest place to make friends. So he puts on this whole persona that he loves craft beer and he's all into it, but he drinks Budweiser when no one's looking.
He needs to sit down with somebody and get out some of his feelings because he shouldn't be living a lie unless he enjoys being an imposter.
He's weird.
He is weird. Somebody said, I find it oddly satisfying to sit on a toilet seat that a stranger has warmed up for me.
That is gross, y'all.
Okay. You're alone on that one.
Definitely.
You know, they make pocket Lysol now, and I am tempted to get it and carry it with me everywhere.
I take it when I go on a plane.
Toilets freak me out.
So how would you clean the toilet without getting, because even going down to the toilet, I feel like I'm getting toilet fumes.
I mean, I would just be able to get the seat. I'm not.
Spray it.
Yeah, I just spray the seat and then call it good. I'm not deep diving.
No. This text confession says, my in-laws irritated me so much with their endless political commentary that when we went to their house for Christmas, I saturated their dog's food in vegetable oil. It got the runs for 2 whole days and crapped an endless amount of liquid poo all over their house.
You're a jerk.
That's not nice.
Man.
You are such a jerk.
The poor dog.
Who texted that in here? I want their number.
You can go get it.
I'm going to be a Karen.
Bird is going to go get you.
That's not nice.
Don't
to
make the
dog.
animals suffer, you psycho.
This text said, my school bully died in a house fire decades after we left school. Every year on the anniversary of my tormentor's demise, I go to the graveyard early before anyone else is there to dance and celebrate on his grave.
Wow, that's heavy.
Whoa.
Let it go, dude.
Wow.
Let it go.
Yep.
Or dance on.
Or dance, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever gives you peace.
Whatever you gotta do. Yeah, you're right.
Dang.
Somebody said I've started pouring whiskey into my coffee every day. It's the only way I can cope these days.
I don't hate you.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of teachers that do that before the pandemic.
Look, you can pour Tia Maria. It's delicious, and it looks the same color as coffee. No one even knows.
I think every company's probably got at least 2 to 3 employees that are actively drunk, but they're functional. Like we probably have. We have an active drunk here on this floor. It's
here.
Probably me. but I think every company has got 2 or 3 that are quiet drunks. They're holding on.
You wouldn't expect it.
You wouldn't know. They're so premeditative with it. They have gum.
Yeah.
But they got their buzz on.
Yeah.
I think it happens, man.
Yeah. Oh, more than you would think, especially in this era. And final confession here, somebody said, when my boyfriend drips pee on the toilet seat and leaves it, I wipe it up with his face towel.
Okay, both of you annoy me. You're too extreme. Both of you just are extreme.
It's a lot.
I want peace in my relationship. These pranks, no.
If you pee in the same toilet as dudes, I'm just sorry to have to tell you there's going to be issues because they have a fire hose and you just squat, so everything goes where it's supposed to. They literally have a fire hose.
And sometimes there might be a pH around. Pubic hair?
Oh, okay.
pH.
So Jaybird's got too much of something up in his place, at least according to somebody in his family, and this caused a little bit of a fight yesterday.
Well, you brought it up to me yesterday.
I brought up a couple of things that you have a lot of, but one of them I think could be worse for your psyche than the other.
Well, what's the...
I think you have maybe too much chewy stuff up.
That's exactly what the fight was about.
I wouldn't tell you what to do in your house because you can do what you want. I want you to be happy in your house. But if you're still sad about Chewy and then you're constantly looking at his pictures, I just don't want you to be sad when you're home.
My family member comes over and said it 3 to 4 times about how there's too much Chewy stuff. That's exactly what it was about. Like, it's not good for your psyche. And I know what's good for my psyche. I'm completely fine. Yes, does it make me sad? Of course, but I want to be surrounded by Chewy stuff. It's what I want. I listened to the family member. I listened to them for a long time without saying any kind of opinion. And then I finally said, well, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not taking down the Chewy stuff. I love it. And then they kept going in on me, and then we got into a fight about it. I said, why do you care? It's my own house. Let me be sad then. Let me grieve with it. But just really... left the house mad because I wouldn't take down my Chewy stuff. But I think it turned into something else. Right. It started with the Chewy thing.
What else have you done to disappoint?
It wasn't, that list. No, it just was, because I thought we were just hanging out, and I thought it was going to be a peaceful thing, and they just kept bringing it up. And I get it. That's your opinion. You think my house is sad and depressing because Chewy is everywhere on the wall. I get it. Okay, I've heard you out. Now we gotta probably move on from it.
It's your choice what you put in your house, and they just need to let it go.
A few people have said I shouldn't have that much Chewy stuff up, that it's bad for your psyche. I disagree with that. What are you? You're level-headed, Kev. What do you think?
I think it depends upon your behavior. The only way that I could see something is if I were a family member, and let's say, for instance, you're sulking around, and enough time has passed where I think everybody has a time to grieve, and that might be several months. 3 months maybe. If we're on month 4 or 5 and you're just sitting on your couch rocking back and forth holding a Chewy pillow, and I'm a family member, and everywhere you go there's Chewy stuff, and I'm not saying this is all happening.
Yeah, it's
that
not.
Would be the only way that I think I would probably sit down with a family member if we're in month 4 of this and saying, hey, look, I think this is really affecting your mood. There is definitely a time to grieve, but with all these things around, you're not able to let it go. If somebody had all that stuff up and it brought them joy and great memories and that was how they were using it, processing it that way, then to me, absolutely everything is fine and go with that.
It does bring me joy. And I only lost Chewy a month ago. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was my best friend other than Denny's and Bigfoot. So I took it hard.
It's fresh.
It's very fresh. And I'm actually surprised how hard it's hit me. It's hit me really hard.
Yeah.
But I like being around that stuff. So it kind of ended with a weird fight with it.
Yeah,
And to your point, I'm not. I mean, you guys can tell me. You guys can tell me how my mood's been. I've been purposely trying to be upbeat. I've been trying to not talk about Chewy because I know it can can be depressing.
Yeah.
So if you guys think I've been off,
No, you've been the same.
The audience can tell me too.
You've been off,
But
but
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Off with
You've been
my
drunk a lot.
I have drank a lot. No, I have drank a lot, and maybe that's part of their.
Now, is that something? Are they saying that they think that you're drinking more, and it might be because of Chewy, and now you're seeing things around your place with Chewy, and that's leading you to drink more? Was that all tied together?
They were losing the argument, and because I didn't get mad, I was just listening to. I let them talk. I didn't interrupt. And then when they were really losing the argument, I said, I understand how you feel. I respect it, but I'm going to keep the stuff up. Then the drinking got brought up, almost kind of like. And again, it's not that I'm drinking and going crazy or anything. I have a drink at nighttime sometimes, or a couple.
Yeah.
Or a few.
Yeah, you don't leave your house. So
I don't. I've been working on my house.
It's not like you're going out and you're tearing things up and possibly getting arrested.
I have been drinking alone, which, there's a stigma with that. If you drink alone, you're depressed and you got issues and you're a terrible person. I get it. I don't know what to tell people.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting topic that I'm sure that a lot of people have dealt with. I mean, somebody just texted in and said, my dad passed away in August, and I put pictures of him all over my dresser, on the TV stand downstairs. I see him all the time. I talk to him. I do get sad still, obviously, but it makes me feel like he's still with me. I'm a very positive person, and it's in no way bringing me down. It's comforting. And I think that's the dividing line. If I were observing this, look, I think you need to do what you need to do, but if I thought that all the constant reminders were having a negative effect on somebody's moods and they just couldn't get past it, I could see somebody in that world where it's like you need to let it go because you're hanging on to a point in a time frame that it's not healthy anymore.
I'm at a point right now, I still need to miss Chewy.
Yeah.
I have to have a little bit of
I think you're still in the window.
And you haven't been acting weird. Like, you haven't come in here like you're depressed and you've been not functioning.
Exactly.
It's
I'm
not
paying
that.
my bills. I was getting all my responsibility. That's why I was just like, you know what? I don't even feel like getting into this right now because they wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, people need to kind of go on their own time frame too. I understand you can be there. That's kind of what being a family member or a good friend is for somebody, because we all go through loss and devastating parts in our life. It could even just be the end of a relationship. You got to be there and kind of help them through. And it is tough because you have to have a world of patience because you're not feeling the same kind of pain. Yet you're trying to be comforting, and there might be a time where you start to lose your patience saying, come on, man. You need to get over this. And that's what's tough being a good friend or a family member, is sometimes you do need to gently nudge somebody along. But then other times you need to continue and be a little bit more patient.
Just because I don't want to cause any more personal grief in my life, I'm not talking about either one of my sisters. People are like, is this your sister? I'm like, no. Please don't yell at my sisters. Please, you're going to make that worse for me.
So I can see a lot of people who are texting in right now that have kind of dealt with the exact same thing.
Well, then you feel bad, and anytime you have a fight with somebody, the day's kind of ruined. It had a funky feel to the day. I hate arguments. I hate them.
Sure. Yeah, well, and it's when somebody's calling out how you're deciding to live your life and how your place looks.
Yeah.
It's your own freedom.
And I like my couch, too, Virginia. No, I'm just...
You still have that thing?
I do.
I thought we were going to sell the couch.
We are.
Klepto was going to help you.
He is. There's other things coming. I have to fight with family members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody said my husband passed away 9 years ago, and I've had people tell me that I have too many photos of my husband around the house.
If that's the love of your life, your ride or die, never take those photos down. You're not living in the past. You're honoring someone you loved.
Grief is a very personal thing.
It is.
And everyone is going to do it differently. And it's really hard when you take your own values and try to place it on somebody else and tell them how they need to grieve or for how long.
I mean, I'll admit, I ordered a lot of Chewy memorabilia. I mean,
You did.
I was
And
hammered.
then you were gifted a lot of it too. So on top of the stuff you purchased, you were inundated with Chewy gifts.
Well, I was trying to tell a funny story during the fight about how I ordered 2 oil paintings of Chewy and that I drank the peanut butter whiskey, and that's what kind of got into the. It was just it was a mess.
boy.
It was a mess. It was a mess.
That's where it all went, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ay.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Come on up here in a second. Is it possible that we have found where Jimmy Hoffa is buried? There's another story about, oh no, here's where Jimmy Hoffa's body is. I'll let you know what that is coming up in just a second. Did you see the CDC's latest recommendations when it comes to the Super Bowl? They say cheering is going to be a bad idea. So if you are one of that 20% of people that is going to see somebody else for a Super Bowl party, they say you should bring a noisemaker instead. No yelling or screaming to cut down the risk of spreading your COVID droplets all over everybody at the party. So that's their latest recommendation.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck. No cheering at the Super Bowl? What?
Didn't you say that you can't drink or visibly drink either?
I don't know about that.
Okay, I thought there was something with that. You had to go out into a section to drink.
Oh, yeah, that is at the Miami Heat games.
Got ya.
Yes, you have to drink at a designated area and eat there and take your masks off there. Your masks have to stay on at your seats.
Got ya.
That has been the big pass for everybody, is any stadium. It's like, oh, only while you're eating and drinking, and then people just keep their masks off the entire time.
Because they just eat and drink
they
the
keep
entire
a hot dog
time.
in front of them.
Well,
like,
if you're drinking alcohol, good luck trying to remember, oh, I gotta put my mask on.
Yeah. When I went to the national championship at Hard Rock, nobody was wearing a mask, and everybody just had a beer in front of them.
And a hot dog.
Yeah. They say that there's some confusion with a new method for doing the COVID test. Now, luckily, I only had a Q-tip jammed up my nose. But apparently, in other parts of the world, they're jamming that Q-tip other places, including a place that you might need to drop your pants to get to.
Well, this is like those dogs at the Miami Heat game were COVID sniffing everybody's butt. Does the butt have better particles of COVID than the nose?
Those dogs were going deeper. They were exploring.
They weren't asking people to bend over and go nose to nose with the dog. They were bringing the dogs up to the rear.
And I'm not kidding. These dogs were exploring deep.
Oh, yeah.
We saw the video.
Well, apparently they're also doing that in some parts of China, exploring deep. And there have been some videos coming out of people waddling like penguins after taking their swab tests.
Oh, my.
The officials have now had to come out and say that's not a normal reaction. You're going to be walking fine afterwards because people stopped getting their COVID test because they thought that they're going to be half crippled by the swab.
I mean, how deep are they going with this swab?
It depends upon who you are. If it's somebody that they don't like, they go even deeper.
Thank goodness we have the nose swabs.
Right.
Thank
Oh,
God.
my gosh.
Did you see the story about this lawyer in Peru? He was taking part in a virtual hearing involving a violent local gang and then didn't realize his camera was still on when he got naked and started having sex with a naked woman in his office.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's since been replaced by a different lawyer on the case. Whoops. In Taiwan, they fined a guy $3,500 for breaking his mandatory quarantine when he came back into the country from Hong Kong in October. But they've decided to waive the fine when they learned out that he broke his quarantine simply because he had been kidnapped.
Oh, my.
He was quarantining at a friend's house, and apparently that friend owed money to some bad dudes, and they came to the house and accidentally kidnapped the guy who was quarantining.
Oh, my God.
And then on top of owing them money, he was going to owe the authorities $3,500. Like going, guys, that's why I didn't have any money in the first place.
That's totally not on him.
Yes. A woman in Detroit got home from work on Saturday and found porch pirates had hit her house.
Aw.
And they didn't steal her packages off her porch. They stole her entire porch. The steps and everything were just gone.
Really?
I think it's wrong, but that's how. I mean, you're a good porch pirate.
That's a true porch pirate.
If you are stealing the porch.
Just take everything.
It's got to be heavy, right?
I would think
you need a
so,
team.
yeah.
You got to have a few guys with you.
She's now filing a police report. There were some pranksters in Hollywood that did a little trick with the Hollywood sign and covered up the W and the D at the end with something that made it look like the sign instead said Holly Boob. So, 6 people were detained, and they could be facing trespassing charges and fines.
Victimless crime.
Yeah, it seems like it. A mom in Pennsylvania had to spend 20 hours detangling her daughter's hair after her son dumped a container of toys on it that stuck like Velcro.
Oh, boy.
Can you imagine that nightmare? Guy in Crestview, Florida got pulled over on Saturday, and when the cops found heroin in his car, he claimed it was chocolate laxative. It wasn't. He was arrested for drug trafficking and possession. I always love the excuses. These guys
It's
have.
chocolate.
Yeah, we're fine. There's a guy in Utah that got arrested after his roommate turned him in for cooking meth in their kitchen. He said he went and looked in the oven. He's like, hey, what you making? Guy's like, don't take it out. I'm cooking meth. Don't tell the cops.
I'm making my meth balls.
The roommate's like, no. He called the cops right away.
I would too. Don't meth houses blow up all the time?
Oh, you would call the cops on your roommate making meth without your permission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, you should. That's the one time you should be a rat.
Well, if you're going to cook your meth, do it in Oregon. Police in Oregon can no longer arrest somebody for possession of small amounts of heroin, meth, LSD, oxycodone, and other drugs.
What's considered small?
That's a good question. I assume they have it down. They typically have it's like an ounce or something like that, where they consider that to be personal use versus trafficking.
So,
An ounce?
okay.
Whatever it might be. It's just an example.
So, okay.
An ounce of blow is going to set you back a lot.
You're not able to go out in public and do these drugs. It's just if you're caught with them, you don't get arrested. Is that what that means?
That's it. They're trying to decriminalize the personal use.
But they want to get you if it's obvious that you're, selling.
Right.
And you have a large amount.
Drug dealing still is going to be a problem. And then I think for each individual drug, they have a certain weight measurement that determines what is personal use and then what is trafficking.
Wow, weed really opened the door for just pretty much everything.
Going all out. It's an interesting theory.
It's a gateway, literally.
That's crazy. I know you had this story before, but the fact that it's really happening.
Now it's on. I don't know if you saw Subway. They responded to that lawsuit. They claimed their tuna wasn't actually tuna. And now instead, they're going to be encouraging you to actually go and get that questionably real tuna with a coupon code. It's real is their coupon code. If you use that on their app, you can get 15% off a maybe tuna footlong.
Yeah, I mean, canned tuna, like they use at Subway, is not expensive. Like, it's super cheap. So what were they trying to say it was besides, like...
Other parts of different fish.
I gotta tell you, I'm not a tuna lover. In fact, it kind of grosses me out.
It's really gross.
But I grew up and loved Subway tuna. I ate it all the time. I put extra mayo on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in it, but it's delicious.
And by the way, if they want to do a Rebound commercial, they need to get Lionel Richie and remake Penny Lover.
You're right.
Tuna lover.
Oh, I love
you
it.
Walk on by.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And Jimmy Hoffa, where's he been buried? There's been so many stories. They've made movies out of it about where he was put. Well, now they believe he may be buried in a steel drum beneath other metal barrels at a landfill in New Jersey. It's always been a mystery, but according to Frank Coppola, the son of the late mobster Paul Coppola Sr., he is buried at a landfill site beneath the Pulaski Skyway. The site used to belong to Coppola's father, but is now owned by the New Jersey Department of Transportation and is used by a local waste management company to store unused dumpsters. Sounds like The Sopranos, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Did you guys finish The Irishman? Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was good. It was long.
It was
But I
long.
liked it. I don't have a desire to watch it again, but I'm glad I watched it the first time.
So I didn't realize Hoffa pissed off so many people.
He did, yeah.
And he was that difficult.
He was ballsy about it, too. And if you do that and you're dealing with a lot of mafia people...
They don't like ballsy. They don't like that.
You might get buried in a steel drum.
Yeah.
Oh, he was good. I mean, if the movie is anything accurate, he was going after and talking trash and with the mafia big time.
He disappeared in 1975, and nobody ever knows what happened to his body. There's been all kinds of things about he's buried in the end zone at Giant Stadium. And,
I know.
all kinds of stuff like that. So there you go. That is your whacked out news. Coming up here in a second, got an email from somebody whose mom is dating again at 50. And it's kind of interesting when kids are looking at their parents and how they're dating, and they are a little taken aback with what they're seeing. We'll tell you why next. Got an email from a girl in her mid-20s, wanting to know about her mom and her new dating life. She said in this email that her mom got divorced from her dad about 3 years ago, and she's been seeking out some new relationships. Her mom is just over 50, is in good shape, attractive woman, and she takes care of herself, and she's getting a lot of attention. But the whole dating world is completely different now than when she was first in it and got with my dad. And right now, as I'm observing and just sitting back and watching all this happen, I'm kind of grossed out by what's happening. She said 90% of the guys who are interested in her are honestly, first of all, they're just gross. And then you can tell they really just want one thing. And my mom has met up with a few of these guys. I know she's not supposed to, but, you know, people are doing it. I can't stop her. She's a grown woman. She's really honest with me about it and has told me that mostly what all these guys want to do is just hook up, like first date hookup. And sometimes it's not even a date. It's just an invite to his house for a hookup.
No.
Is mom legit going over there? And
she admits she's done it.
She went to the house?
Because she's human.
Okay. You cannot go to a guy's house and that's your first date. I don't care how old you are. Have some damn self-respect.
She's an independent woman living in 2021. I feel she can do what she wants.
I don't like it.
And her daughter says, but afterward, the guy winds up ghosting her. Not to mention, too, the D pics my mom is getting once they get her phone number.
Old D pics.
Oh, gosh. Does anybody want that?
One guy.
I kind of want to see them.
65-year-old balls coming in.
You would look.
She said one guy even included an invitation to hook up with him and his friend.
Oh, boy.
So I'm just kind of wondering, is this what dating is like for a 50-year-old woman in 2021? Is my mom going about this all wrong, or is just how it goes?
The internet killed romance.
She needs to be on a different dating site because this one's not doing it. Maybe go on eHarmony, where you have to put in your criteria and you say that you're not looking for one-night stands.
But what happens if, and I'm just throwing this out there, let's say we were interviewing the mom and you're like, what do you have more respect for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And she responds to you. She goes, Virginia, I just like being a bad mom. And she's into it.
Well, don't get mad when they ghost you then. Don't go crying to your daughter that they ghost you afterwards.
You're right about that.
Because that's exactly what's going to happen if you go to their house and get all up on it.
So this girl in her mid-20s is trying to help out her like 50-year-old mom navigate the dating world today. And it sounds like from the tone of this, she feels like her mom is doing it all wrong, but she's just wondering, is this just what it's like for a single woman that is 50 plus trying to date today?
It's a jungle out there, Kev. The dating world is it depends. If you're going on websites and apps and all that, you're going to bring in a filthy element.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out who the sincere people are that are kind and have good morals and care about the right things. Because when those people go on those sites and they get burned 5, 6, a dozen times, they get off of those sites.
I will tell you, there is an air of this, as I'm reading it, that I think, to Jaybird's point, the daughter doesn't like it, but Mama does.
I think Mama likes it. Mama likes being naughty.
If Mama likes being naughty, go be naughty. But she's also complaining that she gets ghosted. Oh, why didn't they call me back? Well, because you're not doing it right.
The mom should stop complaining. But if the mom... Look,
she's maybe getting tired of it because she's talking about it was about 3 years ago that she got divorced. So she's been out there for a while. And it sounds maybe those comments, at first, okay, I'm just active back in the game. The attention is exciting to me. Now maybe she's getting to the point Mama is, where it's starting to wear on her and she would like real companionship and not just another booty call.
Yeah, no, you're right. And to Virginia's point, you got to watch where you are trying to pick people up or meet people. If you're on Tinder, don't be shocked. And I don't think it's right. I think it's terrible.
If your mother's on Tinder, wow.
No one should send D-pics, but don't be surprised if you're on Tinder. Someone's going to send you a D-pic. They are. It can be sleazy out there.
So, Virginia, your thought is you just need to get on more reputable dating sites.
I would put her on a better one with the criteria. Maybe you got to pay a little bit of money, and you got to be specific about what you're looking for. And then it'll only match you with guys that are looking for the same thing.
The other thing, too, you can pay more money. You
Yes.
become like a VIP member, where I think it takes out a level of creepy people.
And maybe it eliminates the D pickers.
I think
So
it
you got
does.
to pay for the creep filter?
I think you got to pay for the dog. When anything's free, you're gonna always get dong pictures.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
That's what happens.
It's terrible.
You pay.
You pay.
You pay because you'll never be able to unsee those old dongs.
Oh gosh, I mean that's
So many
scarring.
old dongs.
A 60-year-old dong photo, ladies. I'm so sorry.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to help out this girl in her 20s navigate her mom's dating life. She doesn't seem to like what's going on. Her mom's just about the age of 50, and her mom has been using apps, websites, things like that, and there's been a lot of booty call type action. She's like, is this just how it is? Or is there a way that I can help my mom, I guess, handle this in a more reputable fashion? Kimberly in the chat room said, I'm 48, and yes, that's how it is. Lots of D-pics and baggage.
Well, someone even said, well, what if the mom, goes to like a church group? And here's the only thing I would say. If mom does like to get a little naughty and likes to play, I don't think the church group's the right way to go, because I don't think they're going to want to play.
You got to figure out, because this may be the thing. And what's interesting is this is the reverse of what we typically hear. Isn't it usually mama's worried about who her daughter's dating?
Yeah.
And I want her to find a good man and date somebody reputable, and I want her to go to church and meet somebody. And now it's like the daughter is the one who wants mama to meet somebody a little bit more reputable.
But, let's say the mom didn't complain about the ghosting and the daughter was still concerned about her sleeping with all these guys, and the mama says to the daughter, baby, I just like different strange men. If that's your mom's excuse, do you just accept that? Accept mom being a freak?
You have to accept it, but you don't have to think it's okay. I can think my mom is gross. Sorry. I don't want that from a mom.
I know. I'm just asking.
I'm not looking for her to catch a STD at 65.
Somebody's saying that the answer really probably lies on mama's online profile. What does it look like? Because you can probably tell from that if mama's inviting this kind of attention or not. So, what do the photos look like?
There are better sites than others, too, and I'm looking them up. Best sites for people over 50 that want to date. eHarmony comes up first, and pay for the premium subscription.
How much is that?
The premium for 1 year is $35 a month.
I mean, $35 a month?
Yep.
Whoa!
Damn!
Oh, my goodness.
$35 a month.
Dang.
You gotta pay delay.
Oh, my gosh.
But apparently it can weed out a lot of the D-pics.
Well, yeah, think of the creepsters are not signing up for $35 a month to send dong pics.
way.
You can tell they're on all the free apps.
The free apps might be the more free, the more dong.
Y'all, of course. Of course that's the way.
Somebody texted to try Our Time. It worked for me. Met quite a few weirdos and never had more than coffee at a public place, but I've been in a committed relationship now for 2 years with a wonderful man, and it's because of Our Time.
There's Our Time. There's Silver Singles. There's
That sounds hot.
Elite Singles.
Silver singles. It just makes me think of gray pubic hair.
Yeah.
Look, dude, it's going to happen to all of us.
I'm not hating on the fact of the aging process. I'm just saying I think they could have named it something different.
Yeah, somebody said everything Virginia's saying is true. I got discouraged and stopped going online. Guys just want to have sex, nothing else. I went on Match. This would be Match.com.
Match has it as well, where you can do the premium, but you got to pay.
Yeah, I wonder if the people texting, Kev, if the ones saying, oh my gosh, it was terrible, I was on that, were they doing the premium? And if you did do the premium, were you still getting dong pics? I feel like they're going to be way down.
I'm looking at all the prices, and I will tell you this. eHarmony is the most expensive, but sometimes if you want the best, you just got to pay a little bit more. $35 a month is not that bad to weed out a bunch of D-pics.
Well, that's why we don't buy generic bread. We don't want that bread falling apart. We don't want it to be all gross.
He's right.
We gotta buy fancy bread.
Spend a little bit more, get a better quality. Get the free service, get a dong.
Get that free bread. Get that fancy bread, I should say. Don't get the free bread.
Right.
Coming up here in a couple of minutes, people are noticing Jaybird has his phone back today. Yesterday he had lost it, and he said it was somewhere in his house. So where did he find it? We'll let you know next.
KVJ not only does a radio show, but also does an after-the-show podcast. Watch or listen on KVJShow.com.
Jaybird lost his phone over the weekend. Don't know if the peanut butter whiskey had anything to do with that or not, but he knew it was there in his place. because he gone on that Find My Phone and it was like right there. So what do you do when you lose your phone in your house?
Peanut butter whiskey did play a factor.
Okay.
Yes.
It usually does.
Yeah, I do not. I'm never, ever drinking peanut butter whiskey ever again.
Well,
It's
you
made-
drank the whole bottle.
It's made the no-fly list. Never again.
Really?
I can't do
Never
it.
again, huh?
I think Tahitian Treat's done too because I was chasing peanut butter whiskey with Tahitian Treat
Yeah.
and got very sick.
Yeah.
You might be diabetic today.
It was not a good. Virginia brought me all this liquor I've never had before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Well,
milling
I
around.
brought you all this stuff for like chicks. I brought you all stuff for entertaining the ladies. It's
Well-
like all sweet booze and yummy booze and girly
Well,
booze.
this chick
I
was
didn't bring you
Yeah.
Jameson.
He
I
loves
brought
yummy booze.
I brought you chick stuff.
I was working on my house and it was
Yeah.
late. I do things late at night. I'm
You do?
I'm a
Okay.
weird creature when it comes to that stuff.
Okay.
And do you have any guesses where my phone was at? I found it.
People were thinking maybe like the refrigerator. I think once before you put your phone in the freezer.
I did. Mm-hmm. I put my phone in the microwave before.
We
It
talked
wasn't
about
there.
how it might have been in the trash.
It was not in the trash.
And you were thinking you were going to go back and check your couch cushions again.
Check the couch cushions. Nowhere near there. It was in a box full of Buddha statues with 2 other boxes on top of it.
Oh boy.
That's why I couldn't find it. I must have been moving stuff around
Yeah.
at nighttime. I was listening to music, put it down there, and
Yeah.
then walked off, and then fell asleep and
And
forgot.
packed up that box and then put 2 other boxes on it. And
Yeah, I found it late in the day yesterday, but very happy. And I turned into a scavenger hunt, so I wasn't
It's
too
fun.
frustrated. You know,
like how many missed calls and messages and all that did you have?
a lot. What I mean, that would have happened anyway if I'd had my
Yeah, doesn't matter one way or the other. It's not going to be happening.
But it's a
Well,
good
that's
day. We found it.
Okay, that is good news. A lot of suggestions for somebody like Jaybird who might lose his phone a good bit, and some people just do. Somebody had said that what I do is I got myself an Apple Watch. It does mostly everything in the iPhone and what it can do, but you also can ping your phone when you lose it. I do that about 10 times a day. And
I ping my phone all the time because I can't find it. It's like in the bathroom next to the toilet. I'm like, oh.
Oh, you're pooping and texting again.
I was pooping and texting, then got busy, and I don't know. Like, I'll leave it weird places. The ping thing makes life so easy.
So the Apple Watch, you wear it like a watch.
You don't need the watch to have it ping because I don't have the watch.
Because watches, for whatever reason, they make my bones itch.
You're not a watch guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They make my bones tingle. It's a weird thing.
I don't see you doing watches.
Well, I don't think you have to have an attitude. I don't see you doing watches. Clearly, you come from the other
There's
side
a
of the
tone.
tracks. Yeah.
I don't have a watch on either. I think they're too heavy. I only wear one when I go out to look cool.
But there's always a tone there. You don't wear a watch.
You just meet me. I always have a tone.
Is anybody else having a problem with Facebook deleting photos? You said these are older photos, and you noticed, and somebody brought to your attention that they are gone from your page.
Well, 2 people brought to my attention because they wanted us to talk about it on Weird and Whatever. There's definitely photos from my Facebook that I did not delete that are no longer there. And a few other people have brought that to my attention. It's happened to them as well. So is something going on with your boy Zuckerberg?
I don't know. Can he delete your pictures? Is that a part of his agreement with you?
He can do whatever he wants.
This is troubling because I think for me, I have a false sense of security that my photos are safe because I've put them up in time and Facebook. And
Right.
so I don't as diligently as I likely should organize them and protect them, make sure they're backed up in somewhere. So I'm like, if I need it, I mean, I can just go to the right year on Facebook and it'll be there, right?
Perhaps this is a rarity, but people are coming to me and asking me, and it's actually happened to me too. So,
Well, the longer Facebook is around and more people join up, what could be the truth in 20 or 30 years if you're like that, thinking that Facebook now will be the way that you do the genealogy of yourself and your family? Is it possible that don't have that false sense of security that your photos will be documented online because they'll start deleting them at a certain point? I don't know.
what if Zuckerberg, what if he decides one day he wakes up and goes, you know what, Facebook has ruined the world. I want to pull the plug on the whole thing. Does he have the nuke button of Facebook where if he hits a button and pulls the plug on it, does Facebook go bye-bye completely?
He'd have that power if he wanted to.
Yeah, something tells me he does have that power.
Probably more than just one button, but
to your point, that's kind of a scary thought that one person holds all that power of all of that content.
I've said to myself that I don't think your thinking is right on this. I am being lazy, and I need to be diligent, and I need to likely go through and get a good archival system, because there's probably a lot of stuff that I'm just relying on Facebook to hold in place for me.
Or YouTube. Imagine YouTube says, whoever does the YouTube go, yeah, we hate YouTube. We're done.
Sure.
Pull the plug. All of those, some of those videos are no longer saved anywhere. The hard drive.
I haven't found personally a really good archive system yet. I've tried the Apple Photos and things like that, and they seem to have sometimes their limitations and confusions, and that's why I've just never really done a deeper dive on it. But really, we probably all should ask ourselves that question, because you could lose a lot of memories and great photos.
You're right.
Facebook does have that option where you can download your pictures, though. You can download them. And
I'm sure they charge you.
I don't think so.
To keep them on Facebook or to keep them on your own platform?
Your own computer. I'm saying your own computer. If you're worried about, but then you have to go through every picture or all the ones you like and download them to your computer.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Engineer Keith is thinking that maybe the same person who put the phone in the Buddha box deleted the photos.
Oh.
Engineer Keith, how dare you?
Maybe Buddha deleted the photos.
There was a lot of good jokes in that one. Like, oh, they were just, watching Bird's phone, giving it some peace.
It needs that peace. Yeah, so has anybody else had this issue? I have not noticed. So is it just on Jaybird's Facebook page, or is Facebook doing something devious that we all need to be aware of? So if anybody else has had this, let us know. I'll continue to keep an eye out for it. But right now, it doesn't look like anybody's saying anything.
Really? I thought I broke it open, Virginia.
Yeah, it seems like it's just you right now.
No,
everybody's like, no, never had that happen.
I knew someone in my personal life, and someone reached out to me. Are they all messing with me?
I don't know. Nobody else.
They're messing with me. They're hiding my phone.
No one in the chat room's got pictures missing.
Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we got a few random questions we're going to throw by you, including, is it wrong to check your order at a drive-thru window before pulling away? Now, some people have different thoughts on this.
I got drive-thru recently, but I got a lot of food. It was for me. I had a friend, her kids, my kids, and my husband. We were bringing food back home to him, so it was a lot of food. And the lady at the window told me, check the bag just to make sure we got it right. And we tried checking the bag, but we couldn't check the bag. Sure enough, got home, it was wrong.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
Yeah.
I got some things to say.
Okay, well, we got to lay it all out. Are you doing it the right way or the wrong way? You will find out.
Did you miss a segment from the KVJ Show? Find it on kvjshow.com or soundcloud.com/KVJ Show.
Some insight here. If you are trusting social media platforms to be a storage site for all of your memories and photos, somebody had said, Instagram, they've got apps that can move pictures from the Instagram into a book, and Google Pics seems to hold pics until you delete them.
Until Gary Google decides to pull the plug.
Who's Gary Google?
He's the founder of Google.
Google does have that storage. I pay for that every month, like
I
$3.
do too, yeah.
So you better not pull the plug. Somebody texted and said, I just requested the download of all of my photos and videos from the beginning of Facebook until now. In about a half an hour, I was sent 4 different files to download, but there's way too much for me to fit it anywhere. I'm going to have to buy a laptop just for the sake of storing these photos.
But you got them.
There was no charge, yeah.
You have them.
Huh.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Would you be totally bummed out if you lost all your photos from Facebook? I mean, devastated?
I would be, yes, absolutely.
One person said that you do need to also consider, too, sometimes you think you have a photo when you were just tagged in that photo. And if that person untags you or deletes it, then you'll lose that photo as well. So keep that in mind.
Good point. I'm kind of dumb.
See.
See that me getting tricked by that?
Couple of thoughts there. All right, got a few random questions for you. Is it wrong to check your order at a drive-thru window before pulling away? I got to tell you, it seems like drive-thru windows, especially now during the pandemic, man, they are crazy. And I just know we frequently will go through the Chick-fil-A 2-line drive-thru. It was amazing. I went through there the other day. My father-in-law wanted to go through, and there was a huge line. He's like, oh, we're not going to get through. So I'm like, it's amazing how fast they go. And but everybody's moving quickly. And so you don't want to feel like you're a cog in the works. And so you yourself would be like, well, they got a great pace going. I don't want to be the person that holds it up. And I will admit that sometimes when they hand you the food, because they have people that are runners, they had about 12 people out there that were taking orders, moving you ahead, bringing out your orders in baskets and then handing it to you. And it was, the picture of efficiency. But at the same time, if you're the person, well, let me check here. Did I get my waffle fries? Did I get my nuggets?
Is there cheese on that sandwich?
That's right. Did I get that? You're going to be the person that is just going to bring all this to a grinding halt. So how do you do it? Or do you do it at all?
Uncomfortable because it's almost like double checking someone's work in front of them, but you are not wrong to do that. You paid for that food. And unfortunately, the fast food industry, you guys have burned too many people. You get the orders wrong. You got to. Some of this food's getting expensive now. Always check your order. You got to do it quick. Don't want to be that cog you're talking about. But yes. Check your food.
Always check the food.
It's a rookie mistake not to check your food, and you got to check it right there because it's possible they messed it up. What if you ordered chicken, they give you fish?
Well, in the Chick-fil-A line of efficiency, and I know McDonald's and a lot of other places are going to that 2-line thing, and they're going to start stealing it because it seems like Chick-fil-A's been the most efficient with their drive-thrus. It's almost like they are missing that as you're leaving lane, this is the check lane, where you can double check the items, because a lot of people have been burnt and they want that comfort to say, I paid for this. I don't want to be 3 miles down the road before I realize you didn't get this. And if you got a kid that's hungry, that can really wreck your day if your kid doesn't get the nuggets. And now you're like, oh, now what am I going to do?
If you're a cheese lover and you go to a place because you love their burgers, their cheese is great, and then you find out there's no cheese on your burger. I get it's a first world problem. I understand that. But you're in the business of customer service. And
the cheese is the best part.
Yeah, leaving out a cheese on a sandwich is a big deal for a fast food experience.
Yeah.
So are you running a business or are we just friends here?
Yeah. Somebody said, remember the famous quote from Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon 2, they F you at the drive-thru.
They do.
And I don't know if they do it on purpose, but sometimes they're just rushing.
Well,
and I don't mean like their ethnicity. I mean like they're going fast.
And there's still a weird cheese attitude. If you even say, I'm going to pay for the extra cheese, you get this cheese dude, like you're breaking the rules.
I know. Charge me whatever you want, but here's what I want.
I'll
pay a nickel. I'll pay a quarter. I'll pay 50 cents. I just want extra cheese.
I'll pay what you want and then some and give you a little booby dance, too. I just want my damn cheese.
I'd love to see the numbers of how a good fast food line helps out that business. Because there definitely is reputation by what people are texting me that some places do their drive-thrus great, other places do not. Meaning that they're not efficient, not fast, and they're always getting your order wrong on top of it.
And not apologetic either. You tell them that it's wrong, and they almost want to fight you because they got the order wrong. It just ain't right.
Yeah, well, you keep seeing...
Calm down, Bird. That vein in your neck is popping out again.
Kevin's brought up some really touchy subjects. Rose from Titanic and fast food issues.
Didn't we have 3 stories last week where people were trying to climb through Chick-fil-A drive-thru windows and things like that? There was violence that...
They threw a brick. They were trying to climb in the window.
They stormed Chick-fil-A, Kevin.
They did.
Like the Capitol. They stormed it.
So, I mean, this really is kind of a big deal. We got to get this all right.
I know people will always say it's fast food. What do you expect? First world problem. But it is a business. And do you want your business to be good? Or do you want the reputation of having crappy service like a lot of them do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. There you go. All right. The bird's spoken.
Great question.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd probably be into that. So.
The passion level. I don't think you got to any other questions that you had.
It's all
He
good.
started the bit saying he had a bunch of questions, and you didn't let him get off of number 1.
I couldn't let him get off it.
We settled the most important one. That's what we had to do. We got more of the KVJ Show coming up. It is called the After the Show podcast, behind the scenes conversations in an unrated style with your emails. You can send to us anything you'd like to add into the show or want us to bring up. Mail at kvjshow.com. You can watch it live on both Facebook and YouTube. Just go onto both platforms, look for the KVJ Show, and it's also on all your podcast apps too. It's called ATS, and it's on demand anytime you want to listen to it. Before we get to that, though, Jaybird is going to wrap us up here today with his thought.
Strength. Strength is the capacity to break a chocolate bar into 4 pieces with your bare hands and just eat one of the pieces.
Oh,
Strength.
good luck.
Never.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at kvjshow.com.